Good day to everyone. We are now in Lesson 10 and today, we will tackle the topic about understanding human origins and the capacity for culture. In this lesson, the learners are expected to 1. Trace the human origins and its capacity for cultural adaptation. 2. Explore the significance of human material remains and artifactual evidence in interpreting cultural and social, political, and economic processes. And 3. Give opportunities to realize the important role of the new generation to shift perspectives and discover a whole new way of thinking. But before we move on to our lesson, take your paper and pen to answer the following questions as part of your review. This is the direction. Choose the correct answers from the box below and write your answer to your paper. I will read each question twice, and I will give 8 seconds to answer each item. 1. It represents the social structures and organization of the people who share the same beliefs and practices. 1. It represents the social structures and organization of the people who share the same beliefs and practices. 2. It is a concept that states that no culture is superior to any other culture. 2. It is a concept that states that no culture is superior to any other culture. 3. It is a shared set of spoken and written symbols. 3. It is a shared set of spoken and written symbols. 4. It represents the beliefs, practices and artifacts of a group. 4. It represents the beliefs, practices and artifacts of a group. 5. It is the application of knowledge and equipment to ease the task of living and maintaining the environment. 5. It is the application of knowledge and equipment to ease the task of living and maintaining the environment. Now, let's see if you still remember the previous lesson. These are the answer. 1. Society. 2. Cultural relativism. 3. Language. 4. Culture. 5. Technology. A round of applause to those who got perfect score. Now, look at the picture. Do you have any idea about the lesson? Yes, you're absolutely correct. The topic is all about the human origins and the capacity for cultures. What is biological and cultural evolutions? The study of biological and cultural evolutions is the focal point to help us how change commenced and influenced the flow of lifestyles in the modern age. The prolonged manner of change of humans was once originated from ape-like ancestors. The physical and behavior inherited in the first human beings million years in the past is a signal that humans are of ape-like ancestry, is the scientific substantiation. Here we can see how contemporary instances have formed their physical look and behavior. In this lesson, we will explore how our ancestors lived a simple life to complicated at the same time as their appearance changed due to the change in environment in which they lived. If we look at our science and social studies lessons when you were in junior high school, you have studied the stages of human evolution. Evolution is change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. Culture plays a significant role in our society and oftentimes misunderstood by so many because of biological complexities to cultural diversities from one community to the other, tracing origins thousands of years ago. It is in this light also that the human origins be considered as a major tool in coming up a wider perspective in understanding the process of the biological and cultural concept of evolution. For instance, changes or development in cultures from a simple form to a more complex form of human nature. Nevertheless, the ideas in terms of biological and cultural evolution also have its own point of explanation, which emanates from the evolution theory of Charles Darwin, a famous evolutionist of all times. Evolution is change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. These characteristics are the expressions of genes that are passed on from parent to offspring during reproduction. Different characteristics tend to exist within any given population as a result of mutation, genetic recombination, and other sources of genetic variation. top examined and enumerated the family to which human beings belong. This classification is called hominid. Dryopithecus was the primary advancement man within the stages of evolution, and some believe that Dryopithecus was the common predecessor of man and primates. Dryopithecus was the most punctual known precursor of man. However, Ramapithecus existed in the same way, but appeared nearer to human-like structure than Dryopithecus. Dryopithecus occupied the European locale and few parts of Asia and Africa. Stages of advancement of people started from this genus. After Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus came to the class Australopithecus, which gone before the class Homo. Australopithecus ramidus, a species that measures 1.2 meters tall, and the fossils appear the foramen magnum that were huge to demonstrate upright walking. They had teeth like people. Australopithecus afarensis, it is also called Lucy, the popular fossil, had a place to this species. They are said to have possessed the African terrain, and they were shorter than the Australopithecus ramidus. They had a small skull with flat noses and no chin. They were able to walk on two legs, but their legs were slightly bowed, which made their walk somewhat ape-like. The bowed legs, fingers, and toes empowered them to climb trees and live there. They had huge teeth and jaws. Australopithecus africanus. The name was coined by Professor Raymond Dart, which means southern ape of Africa. They were bipedal and had a small skull with small brains than Homo erectus, but they appear bigger than their forerunners. They are herbivores, and that explains why they had huge teeth compared to modern-day people. Australopithecus robustus. A species that was taller than his forerunners, but still ape-like. This species discovered by Robert Broom. They weighed more than their predecessors. After the Australopithecus sort came the Homo class. The first man within the class was Homo habilis. What about this term? Do you still recall the Homo species? Hominids is a primate of a family hominid. They have a brain bigger compared to the Australopithecus species, which showed up 2,300,000 a long time prior. It is classified as genus Homo. It is partitioned into two species, the Homo habilis and the Homo rudolfensis. These two species were found in parts of Kenya and Tanzania. The Homo habilis showed up around 2,300,000 a long time back. They have bigger and they diminish the estimate of molars and premolars compared to the Australopithecus. They have the nearness of long arms of Australopithecus. The Homo rudolfensis is by one means or another the same as the highlights of Homo habilis. Numerous paleoanthropologists make no refinements between two species. Few has said that the distinction lies on their cheek, teeth and face. The Homo erectus was the primary hominid species that were dispersed within the Old World. It was seen in parts Africa and in Asia. It was found by Eugene Du Bois and called it erect ape man. Homo erectus had smaller teeth than the other species within the Homo sort. The brain size 895 to 1040 cc in estimate. It is known that the Homo erectus have the capacity to control fire. After the coming of Homo erectus, the Homo sapiens paved its way to the world. One of this is Homo sapiens neanderthalensis. They had bigger brain estimate than the advanced man and were gigantic in size. 2. They had a huge head and jaw and were exceptionally effective and strong. They were carnivores, and from the tools they used, they demonstrate that Homo sapiens neanderthalensis they were hunters. They were cave tenants too, but their caves were more comfortable, because they lived in bunches and they hunted for food gathering. Another species is Homo sapiens sapiens. Compared to the Homo sapiens neanderthalensis, Homo sapiens sapiens became smaller in size and the brain size reduced to 1300 cc. Cro-Magnon was the earliest of the Homo sapiens. They were omnivores, had skillful hands, developed the power of thinking, producing art, more sophisticated tools and sentiments. They were characterized as the modern human. Let's us move on to our activity. The title of this activity is You Are Next in Line. This is song analysis. All you have to do is watch the music video, Next in Line by Ucsp11 of After Image. After watching the music video, proceed to answer the process question and submit your answer via Google Classroom, Messenger, modules or worksheet. I hope some of you are familiar with this song. Let us watch the music video.
What has life to offer me when I grow old? What's there to look forward to beyond the biting cold? They say it's difficult, yes, stereotypical. What's there beyond sleep, eat, work, and this cruel life? Ain't there nothing else round here but human strife? 'Cause they say it's difficult, yes, stereotypical. Gotta be conventional, you can't be so radical. So I sing this song to all of my age, for these are the questions we've got to face. For in this cycle that we call life, we are the ones who are next in line. We are next in line. What has life to offer me when I grow old? What's there to look forward to beyond the biting cold? 'Cause they say it's difficult, yes, stereotypical. Gotta be conventional, you can't be so radical. So I sing this song to all of my age, for these are the questions we've got to face. For in this cycle that we call life, we are the ones who are next in line. We are next in line. Oh, oh, we are next in line. And we gotta work, we gotta feel, let's open our eyes and do whatever it takes. We gotta work, we gotta feel, let's open our eyes. Oh, oh, and sing this song to all of our age, for these are the questions we've got to face. For in this cycle that we call life, we are the ones who are next in line.
How did you feel about the song? What is your understanding of the message of the song? Well, it's just a basic reminder that we are now on the line of life, but we don't have the power to stay on it, and whether we like it or not, we will leave, and those who are next in line will stand where we exactly are before. So this is the process questions. 1. What is the ultimate message of the song? 2. What do you think is the biggest challenge that young generations are facing when they have to find solutions for themselves? 3. What particular message in the song awakens your realization about life and decision making? 4. What implication can be drawn from the title, Next in Line? Reminder, please submit your answers via Google Classroom or Messenger, or answer your worksheet or module. And to sum up our lesson, human origins be considered as a major tool in coming up a wider perspective in understanding the process of the biological and cultural concept of evolution, for instance, changes or development in cultures from a simple form to a more complex form of human nature. Now, reflect on how evolution can be applied in your everyday life. Thank you very much, my dear students. I hope this video, you gained a lot of knowledge and value in this lesson. Once again, thank you and God bless us all.